Johnny from You Know Media here, and in this video we're going to show you how to set up ad groups within your search ad campaigns, which is where you gather together all of your keywords. So stay tuned. At You Know Media, we help companies grow and thrive using the latest tools, tricks and marketing techniques. From websites to automated sales funnels, social media content and much more. We're constantly releasing new material on our YouTube channel, so make sure you like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. Also, feel free to leave your questions in the comment section below. Just before you get going, I want to quickly tell you about our exclusive offer. We are giving free access to our paid Hub You Know platform to the first 50 people who click the link in the description below. This offer is going on all of our YouTube videos, so hurry and click it to get your place. Within Hub You Know, we have created over 100 training videos in 13 courses, including a course on running a successful Google ad campaign. You'll also find recorded webinars and a host of other free content, so remember to click on the link in the description. So after that, let's get on with the video. This stage of setting up a search ad campaign is all about sorting out your keywords. Think of an ad group as a collection of keywords. You should have already conducted your keyword research and have a good idea of the keywords you want to use. However, your long list of keywords should be grouped. I'm going to show you an example from an editing and proofreading service. In the simplest form, I'd want to put the editing and proofreading keywords in separate groups. Then I might want to subdivide these lists further, such as editing services for PhD students or professors. You will do this because you want to send different ad groups to different landing pages, or you want certain ads to show up for each of these groups. Let's have a look at this example. So this is the page you come to when you are setting up your ad groups. Now before you start this, you should have your keyword list ready and done all of your keyword research and know what keywords you want to put in there. You can get keyword ideas over here, but I wouldn't recommend doing it this way. I'd say go through the tool that we saw in a previous lesson. Now what I'm going to be showing you as an example is setting up an editing and proofreading keyword service, and we want to split up those two services. So one's for editing, one's for keywords. Now this is the box that you've got to fill in. It's fairly simple. You need an ad group name, then you put in the keywords. Now the default bid will only appear when you put in manual CPC. So it's manual cost per click. If it's a conversion, this won't appear. So in here, you put your maximum bid, so your maximum cost per click that you are willing to spend. And as I said, I usually use this one, or we usually use this one, when we're just starting out an ad campaign to kind of get an idea about where the clicks are coming in, maybe what clicks we get at a cheaper price. So first of all, I'm going to look at the editing words, and then I'm going to do the proofreading words. Now the reason for that is I'm going to create a new ad group there. And I've seen ad campaigns, or been working on ad campaigns that's had up to 100 of these, tend to be sometimes about, between sort of like 10 and 20 is kind of the average. Now it's almost like, thinking about it, this is how you split up your keywords. So for example, this first ad group, I'd be thinking I'm going to put my proofreading keywords in here, or I'm going to put my editing keywords in here, one set of keywords that would lead to a editing landing page. In this one, I might put in my proofreading keywords that are leading to a completely different landing page. I'll show you roughly how to set one up, and then I will set one up and show you what the results were. So these are some keywords that I had for the editing and proofreading. This is academic editing and proofreading we're looking at. I just split them up into ad group kind of 1 and 2 to start to think about how I would firstly split them up. So for example, we've got proofreading as number 2 and any editing we've got as number 1. Now, firstly, I'm going to set this first ad group up to be for editing. I'm actually going to call it cheaper keywords. So what keywords am I going to look for that maybe are cheaper within these ones? Now, if we look at this one, top of bid, low range, as I explained before, I've sorted these out for which ones are the top of the page and the lowest bid to get there. So what it means for this one, academic journal editing, is 91p Google thinks that will be the cheapest that you will get to the top of Google rankings. Now, you might only get there when there's low competition or people haven't set up other bids, so that won't get to the top too much. Right up to the top end of the bid, the £5.54 for that one to get to the top, and if you put in that bid, it will get to the top more often. Now, I'm going to firstly just look for some potential cheaper keywords. So if we look at this one, got academic copy editing, academic research editors, or freelance academic editor. So I'm going to copy those keywords and I'm going to put those three in here. Now, academic copy editing, I'm going to put that as a phrase match because I want people to be using that phrase. Freelance academic editor, yes, I'm also going to put that in a phrase match. I don't want these as broad match, as you saw from the previous video. There'd be a lot of things that would come up, and I want to keep that academic in that first one and in that third one. So academic research editors. Now I'm going to put a plus on here because I definitely want to keep in the word academic, and I want to keep in the word editors. So I'm going to change that to a broad match keyword with having academic and then editors in there, and this word research, that can kind of come out if they want to. Academic editors is something that I kind of want to put in there for that one and keep the academic side and keep the editors keyword. Now let's have a look at their cost per click. So it seems like these ones, the cheapest you're going to get to the top of the page is going to be £1.54 per click up to £2.24. So I think I'll set my lowest bid at maybe, let's say £2.30 to just get into those ones. So default bid is £2.30. Now I will warn you, if you put in the lower end, you probably won't get that many clicks, but it will just give you a good idea of some keywords, give you an idea of what's working, what's converting, especially if you want to leave it for a week or two just ticking over and seeing what the kind of results are going to be. Now, that's the first group there. What I'm going to do is set up some more groups with, I'm probably going to set it up with being some more expensive keyword terms. So I'm going to bid a little bit more on these, and then I'm going to set up a proofreading one as well. Okay, so let's have a look what I've set up. So I went through the editing the cheaper words in there, and the next one I was going to put a more expensive one in there, but then I saw that there are a few that came up with PhD editing. So I said PhD editing services, PhD editing as phrase matches, professional dissertation editors. Now the reason I put that in a separate section to this one, or a separate ad group, is that I may have a separate landing page that I'm sending this traffic to. So this traffic might want to see a different page in comparison to this traffic who are just looking for academic editing. So these people might already be professors and looking for academic editing, whereas these people may be students or will be PhD students that lead to a different landing page. That's an example where two ad groups would lead to different landing pages. Okay, then as a proofreading one, so I've got academic proofreading, PhD proofreading, and proofreading academic papers. Default bid is £4.30, £4 for that one, and £2.30 for potentially some of the cheaper keywords. Now, as I said from these ones, don't expect loads of clicks if you're setting a default bid on these ones, because if you're setting a lower default bid, it does mean you will get less clicks because you'll be in the top of the page less often. And that is really it for this section. You can create as many ad groups as you want, and obviously you can test out a number of these keywords. And the most important thing is, don't just leave them as broad match. Make sure you're putting in your keyword phrase match, or you're putting in your exact match, or you're using the broad match modifier in there as well. So next thing we're going to look at is how you create your ads once you've got these parts set up.